up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, it's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving, so this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way, that this is a very special day.
Very special day it is. It's a finally fantastic, maybe just a little Freaky Friday. That means my partner this morning, my co-host, is Holly Thompson. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning.
From Salem Crossing. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Holly, you look so cute. I do want to say today is you are celebrating at Salem
Hawaiian Day,
Hawaiian
Nursing Home
Day.
Week. Yep.
Oh, how nice.
Should have seen me yesterday. Yesterday was Wizard of Oz Day, and we brought a big screen in for the residents, put in the dining room, blacked out the windows so it was more like a dark theater, and they watched Wizard of Oz yesterday.
How fun.
And I was dressed like one of the Wicked Witches of the East. I was actually, I guess, the Wicked Witch of the West because I had the ruby slippers on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
see, that's fun.
Yeah.
Now, that would be really fun.
Yeah.
And, and you can wear those slippers, who doesn't like sparkly slippers, right?
Right?
Oh, I just have to get those, Got to dress in character, right? I love it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love that. How fun is that? I want to talk more about that, but let's thank our sponsors real quick.
We'd like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Purley Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, Springer & Springer Insurance, Schneck Hospital, and Temple & Temple. Thanks to our great sponsors.
Yes, thank you so much. And so this was the whole week. So we've done,
Yes.
Okay, so today's Hawaii, which, that's on my bucket list to get there.
Me too.
Yeah, so we've not been.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I wonder, stereotyping, we always think grass skirts, coconut bras, or whatever, I mean, right?
Yes,
all of that.
yes.
And just all of
Those,
the...
isn't it the hibiscus? Isn't that the flower?
Oh, you know it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. We do have Michael Good with us. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning. This is Michael Good.
Yes, so glad to have you with us. Of course, this is Becky. Also, I have Holly with me, so you'll hear that extra voice. And Michael, how exciting is it? And 'tis the season, right?
Yes. There's no better place to be in the month of May than right where I'm sitting.
I bet. Well, you are with the Indiana Motor Speedway Museum, and you are having some groundbreaking ceremony going on.
We are. We just had Wednesday morning. We had our groundbreaking for our new Restoration and Events Center just south of the Speedway. Very excited about this. It's a 87,000 square foot Restoration and Events Center, a world-class facility. It's really focused on preservation, restoration, education, and public engagement. So it's going to, the thing that I say it does more than anything else, it's going to bring the restoration of these vehicles and all of our 55,000 artifacts, bring that to life and bring a story to that. A lot of times with the museum, you only end up seeing the finished product that sits on the showroom floor of the museum. You don't see sometimes the years of work that goes into bringing whatever the subject is, to perfect state to put it on the museum floor. And some of these vehicles date back all the way to 1911 and have a massive amount of restoration that takes place. So there's been a natural curiosity from the public, and we're really excited about it.
I love this. Now, kind of explain so it will house cars and then in an event center. So you'll have what kind of events will be there, I guess? What are you thinking?
Sure. So I'll give you the car thing first,
okay.
If that's okay. We have roughly 50 cars in the current museum right now. We have another 150 cars around the city that are kind of hidden away right now because we don't have this facility. We're going to bring those cars into that facility to where there'll be a showroom of those vehicles where people will be able to come in and walk around and see those vehicles up close and personal, and then see, obviously, the restoration process. On the second floor of the Restoration Center is an events center. It's a 4,500 square foot let's call it a ballroom,
Okay.
that overlooks the gallery of all of the cars and the restoration shop on different sides of the facility, the events facility. And you'll be able to host, anything from corporate outings to weddings and a variety of different events. So it'll be a really unique venue for, a special event of some kind, and it'll bring a different, unique offering to the Indianapolis kind of speedway market. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be a great economic driver. It'll bring a lot of business into the town of Speedway for all of the other businesses that are here, the locally owned restaurants and such. So it's an exciting time.
Well, I'm hoping, I'm part of the Indiana Broadcasters Association, IBA, and I hope we do a conference there.
That would be wonderful.
I would love to be eating hors d'oeuvres and looking at cars.
All right. That would be great.
I would think so, Michael. Michael, let's talk about, how do you get your cars? Are you buying them, purchasing them? Are they donated? Or how has this come about?
So the majority of our collection really was created by Tony Holman back when the track was owned by the Holman and then George family. And so we preserve that collection and take care of that collection. It has obviously expanded over the years as we've acquired cars of significance. As an example, just recently, a couple weeks ago, well, actually it was last month, we ended up acquiring the Indy 500, 2025 Indy 500 winning car from Chip Pillow. That was owned by Chip Ganassi, from Alex Pillow. That was owned by Chip Ganassi. And that car is now sitting in our winner's gallery in our museum, and that's a car that we'll have forever. And, it's really humbling to be able to take care of this collection that will outlive all of us. So it's great.
I love that.
We're always looking for that unique, we're always looking for that unique vehicle of significance, and when it makes sense, both financially and strategically, then we would go after that vehicle. But every now and then they come along, and so it's exciting to see that when it happens.
Well, I feel like and Alex just fantastic, and he's just such a nice man.
He's amazing. His story.
Yes.
We had him here for it's called the Speaker Series, and he did an interview, and he was sharing how he started, and he grew up really with no crazy means to racing or of any kind. And on his way to and from school every day as a young child, there was a go-kart track between his house and his school, and he went by it every day to and from school. And that was kind of what started it all. He tugged on his dad's shirt sleeves and said, "Can you take me there?" And so it's a really neat story. He's a very humbling person. He's a great ambassador for the sport as well.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's right. I didn't know the story, and I think that's pretty cool. And if I was that go-kart track, if it's still going, I would definitely put some kind of a sign that said that this was his start. Maybe future Alex.
It was interesting. If I could just give a little more color to that story.
Oh, go ahead.
He said that he was little. He was like 4 or 5 years old, and he wasn't tall enough to ride the go-karts. And so his dad made him a really small go-kart, and he put a rope on the front of it. And his dad would hold the rope and run alongside him, obviously, so you're going just a couple miles an hour, right? And he said that's how he learned how to drive, and his dad would teach him how to go through the turns, holding the rope, running next to him while he's driving this little gas-powered go-kart. And it was a really, humbling story to hear how he started, and it was just really cool.
I love that so much. Talk about a cool dad. I mean, you know what I mean? Before too long, we'll be talking about Father's Day, and my goodness, now that's a dad that, think about that, just running in circles, teaching this young man.
I know, it's really a cool story.
That's pretty awesome. Well, I love that. And I'm so glad you shared that, Michael. I love stories like that. And it's always interesting how sometimes it can be the simplest, and how it, it gives others, hope and ideas, and realizes that brings it back to just, how it just came about,
Right. And that's really, I say, we are the caretaker of an amazing collection of artifacts that represent the history of the Speedway. But more importantly, we're the caretaker of people's stories. Anyone that's ever been to the largest sporting event in the world, they all have their own little story. And when they walk through the museum, you hear those stories because they'll come around and they'll see a car when they walk around a corner, and there'll be a car from 1984, Rick Mears winning cars sitting there, and then all of a sudden you hear somebody's story of, I was at that race, that was my second race, and I remember this, and this, and so it's a really neat giving people that ability to take that trip down memory lane.
Right. Well, I feel like we, racing has always been, top tier, right up there. But we've already sold out. The race is already sold out. I mean, what does that speak to you, Michael?
I think there's just a lot of momentum in the IndyCar sanctioning body right now. I think Doug Bowles not only does a tremendous job running the Speedway, but he's done a really good job of running the IndyCar sanctioning body. And they're putting out a product that people want. And, there's been a great buzz. When the F1 Netflix story came out, 5 years ago, that really brought a lot of people's eyes to open wheel racing. And then IndyCar really started to catapult and get, a great experience. Their partnership with Fox has really resonated and brought together a whole new experience for the viewers on TV. The viewership has been up quite a bit across the board for all of the races, and the racing's really good right now. You have competitive racing. You have, in 2 years, we'll be launching a new chassis, so there will be a brand new car that'll be coming into the series. So that'll create a whole new line of stories and experiences. And motorsports, at the end of the day, it's advancement in technologies and innovation. And if you've ever been to the race at any point in time, you can see how the cars have evolved, and they're a little heavier now, but it's because they're safer now, and they've put all these elements on these vehicles to make them safer to run at the speeds they're running. And I think it's a really exciting time. We focus a lot on the next generation of motorsports and how do we attract that next generation into the industry that we're so passionate about. And we do a lot with education here at the museum and around the city and all around the country. And, we're always trying to tell that story of that innovation and that technology. And IndyCar's done a great job in, capturing that. And it's really putting out a good product. And the drivers are incredibly likable.
Oh.
So, that always helps. It's something you can't really manufacture, right? And so you get guys like Alex Palou or Scott Dixon and Pato O'Ward. These are people that genuinely have so much charisma, and they're so exciting to talk about, and you can feel their passion, and people gravitate to that.
Right. Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think, yes, the vibe, the and the energy, it's just so fun. The race last year was the whole, from the beginning, it was a little bit rocky, some, rain, and there was a lot went on, but but then it was just such a fun race. I think I heard so many people saying they had such a great time, and one of the better races, actually.
Yes, no, it was wonderful. Last year kind of checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
We had a lot of excitement all the way to the very last lap, and obviously it did get off to a rocky start, but that's, I always say control the controllables, and we can't do anything about the weather, so we can't control that one. So, the people here in the stands navigated that with us, and it ended up being a spectacular and memorable day.
Well, it worked good for me because I had to work that morning, so I was kind of happy about a little rain delay. I was like, delay a little bit longer, so I was on my way. But I did make it, got up there, and so happy I did. It was just, the whole day was just, and nobody cared about the rain. Everybody was fine. You know what I mean? It's Indiana. We're used to this, right?
That's right.
What about
That's right. We roll with it, right?
Oh,
We're
absolutely.
supposed to get rain today. Here in about, I'm sitting inside the track right now, and the skies are getting a little grayer, and we're going to have rain here probably in the next hour, and then they'll be out there drying the track, and we'll have a wonderful Fast Friday, because it looks like it's going to be a pretty beautiful afternoon once the rain passes through.
Right. The show will go on for sure. So as far as the museum, for anybody listening and wanting to come in, what are the hours? And then are you going to be open like on race? Are you open on race day, or what's your museum hours, I guess?
So we are.
Okay.
We're open 363 days a year. So Thanksgiving and Christmas are the only days we close the whole calendar year.
Wow.
We open when the gates open during the month of May.
Okay.
So typically we're open 9 to 5. But when the gates open at 7:30, we open our doors at 7:30. And so whenever the gates open for the track to let the public in, that's when our doors open for the museum for the month of May. Outside of the month of May, you'll see we're open 9 to 5.
Okay, awesome.
Every day.
I love that. That's wonderful, and it's great opportunity. I'm thinking too, for people that even that live in Indiana, maybe that do staycations, like maybe the weekends with the kids. This would be a fun
Sure.
thing to do. The school's
it's
almost
wonderful.
out.
The renovation, there was a $65 million renovation to the museum, and it opened to the public April 2nd of last year. And, I live in this community. I've lived in this community since the mid-'80s, and when I run into people that haven't been to the new museum, I'm like, you just got to go check it out. And it's mind-blowing. It was just voted. I take zero credit for this, but we were just voted last month by Time Magazine as one of the 100 top destinations on the globe.
Oh.
And
Wow.
I just think that's a tremendous, speaks volumes to what this renovation, what they've done. And it truly is there's no place like it. There's no experience like what they've built here. I was not here at the time of the renovation when it took place, and so that's why I'm saying they. But it's absolutely mind-boggling what they've done with this renovation. Everything except the 4 exterior walls was completely changed, and it's way different. So when I run into people and they're like, "Hey, I was at the museum 10 years ago," and I'm like, "Well, you got to come back because it's nothing like what it was 10 years ago," and that couldn't be, it's spot on. So I would encourage people to at least check it out if they're local or if they're coming into town for the race. It's a memorable experience and one that you won't regret.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And everybody's got racing fever, that's for sure. I want to brag on Indianapolis. I'm really amazed at how many events can be in one time, and everyone handles it. It's just amazing to me how, because like last year, if I remember right, had the race, and then I think they took Alex. Did they not take him to the Pacers game, or was it a game? Remember he went to, or
Yes.
And remember, and they had
Game that evening.
yes, 2 huge events going on, but traffic kept going, and they kept the flow going. I'm just amazed. Indianapolis, and of course, many years ago, when I was there at the Super Bowl, I'm just amazed at how many people can be in Indianapolis, and Indianapolis can handle every bit of it. They seem to do it. They make it look effortless.
Well, Indianapolis, I work very closely with Visit Indy and the Capital Improvement Board and those that really oversee kind of the major events for the city. And I believe the last stat that I saw, I could be incorrect on where we fall, but I think it was the third or fourth largest city in the United States as far as conventions and activities that go on any given time. We have so many conventions that take place. We have this brand new Signia Hotel that's going up in downtown Indianapolis, and that is because of all the events that take place here. This is becoming a destination city. And whether it's the Pacers, the Colts, the racing, I'm a longtime Hoosier, so I'm probably a little biased, but I think they've just knocked it out of the park as far as pulling off events of significance and giving people an amazing experience. And people have choices now. And people also have very low tolerance now, so they expect things, and so it's we've got to deliver time and time again, and I think the city of Indianapolis does that. So it's been wonderful.
Absolutely, and that's a cool thing because like when you go to an event, like a lot of times, like if you talk to people out of town, they'll be going to another event also. They're like, well, we scheduled this, then we scheduled this, and it's funny because just like how many big events will be going on at once. You can kind of hit several of big events. For anybody going on vacation or coming in visiting from out of state, and they love that.
You can. You're, the track is about 12 minutes from the airport and about 12 minutes from downtown. And, so there's so many things that are centrally located, whether it's the zoo or many of the different museums, obviously the racing. And then you have the town of Speedway that, growing up here in the 80s and 90s, it was never really a destination outside of the month of May. And now it is crawling with young folks that are graduating out of schools and moving here and getting apartments or condos and starting their lives here. And, I didn't think I'd ever see a time where off outside of the month of May, you'd see people running and pushing strollers and just congregating in the beautiful little town of Speedway at all the different restaurants and the amenities that they offer. So I think all of the communities have really stepped up their game in delivering something that's really been valuable to the visitors and to obviously the citizens of the community.
I love that. I love that so much. That's awesome. Well, I always am just very impressed with, with Indianapolis, and of course, we're very impressed with the Speedway, and then, there's so many events actually that actually happen. I don't think people realize how big that Speedway is, how big the track is, and all the events going on inside the track,
Right. I don't know if you've ever seen the graphic. You can Google it.
Yeah.
If you just type in landmarks that fit inside the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it shows you a Google image, and it shows, the Taj Mahal and Yankee Stadium and all these different Churchill Downs, all these different landmarks. They're all sitting inside the Speedway at the same time. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really cool. It's huge. But, well, I tell you what, Michael, and then of course, top it off with the museum. I know that's very popular, and to see the history, and also, find out a little bit more about the history of cars. Is there one car that you're really wanting to get in the museum that you've not got yet, or is that is that just something that you're just happy with?
We're always keeping our eye out. We've got a lot of the most significant winners. We already have them, but we're always looking. The winning cars. So this will be the 110th running of the Indy 500 this year, meaning there's been 110 cars that have won.
Wow.
We have roughly 40 of those winners.
Oh, wow.
So let's say we have a third of the winners. So obviously there's a number of others out there that are obviously very intriguing, but we've got some of the amazing cars. We have Dan Weldon's car. We have obviously the Marmon Wasp, which is a priceless vehicle. That was the very first car to win the Indianapolis 500, and it's kind of our show car, our showcase car, and the four-time winners of Rick Mears and Helio Castroneves. We don't have all of Helio Castroneves' cars, but there's always they're out there, right? So we'll see. If the timing's right and everything makes sense, then we would go after those vehicles.
Well, I would want mine in the museum because I'd want my story to be told, and I'd want everybody to come see. Because I think it's
right.
Always fascinating. Yeah. And well, I thank you for preserving and everyone involved and taking great care and making it where we can all I believe when you're given a gift like a race car or having that winning the Indianapolis 500, when you're given that gift, I think it's awesome to share it. I'm a huge believer in sharing that so others can enjoy it too and see it.
No, I appreciate that, Becky. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. Just bringing attention to this and letting us tell a little bit of our story about the stories that we care for here. So it's a really exciting time. And again, it's the month of May in Indianapolis, so there's no better place to be.
All right, Michael Good, you're awesome. You are very good. So
well, thank you very much. I hope to meet you someday soon.
Absolutely.
And when you're at the track, let me know, and we'd love to give you a tour of the museum.
I'd love that. All right, thanks, Michael. Have a beautiful day, hon. Okay.
Thank you. You too. Thanks so much.
All right, bye-bye. Pretty awesome. Yeah, Holly, would you, it'd be tempting, because what would you do with it? If you have this car, you know what I mean? And then
what would you do with it?
Yeah, I know. I mean, to put it in a garage and like keep it. I know. I'm not knocking people that do. This is my take.
Mm-hmm.
I would want people to see it and to share it.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree with that.
So
it needs to be seen and shared.
Yeah, because how outstanding. And what's cool is to go back from like the first race till to today,
right,
to see the different cars, how they've changed and everything, and how
they have changed.
Oh, have they ever? Woo. Yeah. Safety alone,
yes,
which is good.
Yes.
It's so good because they go so fast, It's just, and when you actually, you have to give huge respect to these drivers in the sport. It's a sport.
Oh, it is.
Absolutely. They have to be like athletes in training, in shape, So.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd want the car to be in the museum and shown.
Me too.
So everybody could see it all the time.
Holly Thompson's. This is the car that Holly Thompson drove.
Wouldn't that be cool? I'd be too scared to drive one of those though.
Oh,
I'm one of those that
Because
sets
of the
my
price
cruise
tag, or
control and
because
goes
of-
over the speed limit.
Okay. No, see, I love it. I did, I had a chance to drive a couple. I know I do. I know I could. I don't want to know how much that car cost, because then it would make me extremely nervous. But no,
Yeah.
I like to go fast like that. No, just the opposite. Years ago with Kentucky Speedway, when they were open, they had you could drive it, and yeah, no, and so the guy that was riding with me, he wasn't expecting. He's like, "Oh wow, oh yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah, I can
yeah,
go fast.
yeah." I think it's when you have so many children and you're like that taxi mom. You know what I mean? You learn to pick up speed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I do. Yeah. So anyway, so I think it's fun and it's great, and the vibe there is just so exciting. You know what I mean? Just everybody's it's a fun time, definitely. That Hoosier hospitality is everywhere too. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool.
I can't believe the amount of things that can fit inside the Speedway, though.
Oh,
that was
I
crazy.
think it's. I don't want to speak out, but I think they've got a golf course. I mean, they've got. It's like crazy.
Wow.
No, it's like unreal. Like how big the. Yeah, it's crazy. It is. Yeah, a lot goes on.
Did not know that.
Exciting. All right. Also, we're going to switch gears because we talked with David and Kathy with Jefferson Starship. I had a chance to interview them. So, Holly, we're going to go and hear this interview real quick. And then we'll come back to us if I can find this interview. Yeah, I got it. They're going to be at French Lick Saturday night. They might be sold out tickets, but check to see. They might still have a few tickets, but they are wonderful. So, let's go listen in on this interview. We are here today, and I've got on my phone, I do have Kathy Richardson, who is vocals and guitar with Jefferson Starship. I have David Freiberg, the original, actually, member of Jefferson Starship, and great to talk to both of you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And and it's funny because just keep shooting those questions or answers back to me. Doing with two people, I love this. This is going to be fun, and so happy. I'm a huge fan, and I think we got so many that are a huge fan. But let's jump with you, David, and kind of tell us a little bit about how actually Jefferson Starship was formed. Let's go back.
Okay, well, I was playing in a band once called Quicksilver Messenger Service back in the 60s. And when I left that band, I had an old friend from before ever with Paul Kantner and from Jefferson Airplane, and they needed somebody to go out with Jefferson Airplane, and I had left Jefferson Quicksilver, and I jumped in. And it turned out to be Jefferson Airplane's last tour, and then we made a couple of records. And we realized that Jefferson Airplane wasn't going to go out anymore, so what are we going to call this band that we're playing in now? And so we picked Jefferson Starship. And then that went on. And that went from 1974, I think, all the way till 1984, when they dropped the Jefferson and it became Starship. And Paul Kantner and I both left that band. And so they went on, had some great hits, so they're beautiful. And then 1992, this is a long history. 1992, Paul started Jefferson Starship up again because Starship had ceased to exist as just Starship. And we picked up, everybody was back, Marty Ballin, and there were people from both Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starships playing with Paul, and Donnie Baldwin and Donnie joined Jefferson Starship in 82, and then we both rejoined in 2005, and we've been there ever since. And Kathy, I can go on.
Yeah, I think, and then Paul is the one that actually called Kathy. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, well, I was singing with Big Brother and the Holding Company, and we were out on tour together, and that's where I met them, and they first heard me sing, and so they found themselves in need of another singer shortly after that tour, and I had just moved to San Francisco, and it was like really awesomely right place at the right time, and Paul came over to my apartment, and I brought out my huge stack of vinyl. I have everything Jefferson on vinyl, and I was, because I'm a huge fan. And I only had him sign one album, though, which was Blows Against the Empire, his solo album, because I really wanted to ingratiate myself to him. And it worked. And they put me in the band, and still here today. And it's just been the greatest journey of my life. I mean, I can't even tell you. And I've been in the band 18 years now, and I've so much in my life has changed. And these guys are truly, we are a second family, and all of our families are extended family for all of us. And it's just really, when I was a kid dreaming of a band and being in a band and what it was like, where everybody was all for one and one for all, and it really is like that in this group, and it's just the greatest group of people and such great musicians, and we just have a blast playing this music and even making some new music, Yes.
Right. David, were you saying something?
Yes, I said, and making new music.
Oh, and making new music. Yeah. Sorry, I missed out on that. Yeah, awesome. Yes. But going through the years and getting that branding, like isn't it, if you go back and you look through the years of how, like, some were with you, some were not with you, and then some came back, and getting that branding and kind of getting the different, a little bit of name change, but I feel like everybody that connected with the original band just followed you no matter what, and just stayed with the band, don't you feel?
Kind of. It's there are people, some people weren't alive during the season that have been following us, but that once a fan, it seemed like there was always something for you to love, something for you to love, and every or somebody to love. Yes, don't you want something to love?
Don't you need? I love that. Wait, did I just sing with Kathy? Did I? Wait, hold on. Did we just have a moment there, Kathy?
I think we did. I hope you got that on tape.
I felt it, absolutely. I've got it on tape. Oh, definitely. All right, so going back, like, through the changes, though, do you feel like some of the songs and the meanings, have they changed through the years, or how do you kind of touch on that?
Wow.
I think a lot of it is really relevant. Some of it sounds of its time, it's like the sound of the band was changing through the eras along with the way popular music was changing, so it is like really maybe jarring to hear White Rabbit next to We Built This City. And like you said, the branding, the difficulty with that and that is a real thing, because, when you start something new, people have to learn it, and there's a lot of confusion between Jefferson Starship and Starship, because they were the members of Jefferson Starship without some of the other members, and went on to do that era. So, and Nicky Thomas, that singer, still has a band called Starship featuring Nicky Thomas, and he's been touring, I think, out there as long as Paul has with Jefferson Starship. So that's been confusing for people. But I think, I don't know, I think that having the Jefferson in our name is really, really cool, because it is the thing that ties it through all the eras. And with David and Donnie, we are connected with all of those bands with the original bands, and I think that's a really cool thing about our band, is that you can go see David Freiberg, who's a living legend and is still rocking at 87.
Yeah.
Whoa, am I?
I don't think anyone told him that, Kathy.
Oh, I tell him every night.
I'll see every I forget it.
I love it. But let's go back to the band, and think about, okay, so like your band, like your music is in videos, they're in weddings, they're in movies. I mean, look at all of the how many different people and how many different folks, and even like some of the, maybe younger, will hear those songs and they're like, oh, I know that song, maybe from a movie, maybe from, something they've heard at a wedding, or just, different videos they've seen.
Cocaine Bear, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Muppet movie, and the list goes on. Every time there's a scene of someone doing drugs, they play White Rabbit, Yeah. So the songs reverberate through pop culture, and it's pretty astounding, really. I mean, I don't know another band that's had a history that is this rich and a catalog this deep. I mean, it spans eras, and it's pretty cool. And I had somewhere I was going with that, and I totally forgot. But something about the eras and.
Well, the different lives that you touch, and if someone has maybe not had a chance to go to the concert, but it's funny that like they'll say, oh, I know that song, and it comes from all the different avenues that your music, goes to and goes through.
Right. I was going to say that the song "Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now" has been streamed 1 billion with a B times, and that's kind of insane. That's just streaming, and I think that's just Spotify. I don't even know that it includes all the other platforms. So I mean, huge song, huge worldwide song, and all these, and every era of the band had at least one, if not 3 to 5 songs like that. So our whole show is hits, and and when we get a shorter set, we don't even get to play them all. So, it's kind of an amazing gift that we have with this band.
Like, I don't know how many people in the late 80s probably, "Nothing's Gonna Stop Us" was their wedding song. You got
Yeah. And those people are still married. Okay.
Yeah, they pass us notes up on the stage, and they say, "It's our anniversary. Will you play our song and dedicate it to us?"
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so cool, Kathy. That's got to be. Oh, that's pretty awesome. That to me would know. I mean, I would love that. That's a huge. Well, and it was in that Mannequin movie. That's what everybody, too. Like, I mean, you were in a movie. I mean, like wedding. I mean, that happens to be one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. And every time you hear it, I mean, it just gets everybody pumped up. It's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling song.
Yeah. Huge song in the show, and a huge moment with the audience. Everybody waving their arms and singing along. It's pretty awesome.
Well, this is for both of you. What was that, I guess, that moment when you realized, like, that you were truly historic, that this band, I mean, like, this is pretty awesome. Like, what, I know we just kind of touched on it there, but what would be, in your words, like, the thing that you made it?
I don't know. It seems to have happened several times with this band. I mean, I felt like I made it when I got into Jefferson Airplane. And then right away we started another band. Then all of a sudden, for the second album, there's a song called "Miracles" that, oh my God, that was such a huge hit. And, and then it goes on, and there's another big one, "Jane," which is about actually my girlfriend. So, I mean, it just keeps on going. And there's a huge hit from every single one of them. From Starship, it's 3 hits at least. I mean, Lordy Lord.
Yeah. For me, it's never been like a life-changing moment. There's been a lot of moments that changed my life, but like you wake up the next day and everything's still the same. Like you still have to do your laundry and all that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not been, but I've had some amazing moments with this whole thing. I remember, when I was in my 20s, I opened for Mickey Thomas's Starship, and he brought me up on stage to sing, and it was a huge crowd, and I was like in my 20s. It was just like, I felt like I made it. But then the next day I was back to my life, or Grace Slick asked me to sing in her place when Jefferson Airplane got their Lifetime Achievement Award, which was televised, and I got to go out to Hollywood and perform at the theater where they do the Oscars, and with Jack and Yorma from Jefferson Airplane, and Grace was there, and I mean, it really, just amazing experiences with this band, and it's just such a gift. That's all I can say.
Well, and it's a gift that you give us too, because we all get to enjoy it, the gift. What are some of the, like, as far as touring? I mean, what are some of the like funny things that happen, or I guess, or like who's the prankster? How is it to tour?
Oh man, Can I tell them about the bird, David?
Go ahead.
Oh, please do.
Okay. So I just went out to San Francisco last week we're recording a new song called Jetpack that we're going to release this summer soon. And I was staying at David's house, and Chris Smith, our keyboard player, and Polly, his wife, is David's daughter. So they picked me up at the airport, dropped me off, and we're walking in the house, and they go, I hope you're not disturbed by the starling in the attic. And I'm like, what? There's a bird in the attic, and it's nesting, and it has babies up there, and it follows you around, and we go in the house, and I hear this beep, 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 and I'm like, that's a smoke detector that the battery said, no, we don't have a smoke detector. I'm like, seriously? And it does kind of sound like wherever you are in the hallway, that it's right above your head. So David's convinced it's moving. And for about a week, they've been chanting for this bird and her babies because they're Buddhists. and I'm like, I'm sitting there getting ready, and I'm like, it's really loud. There's no way I'm going to be able to sleep through this. And I'm like, it is happening at regular intervals. I swear to God, it's always 5. And it sounds exactly like a smoke detector. So I get my timer out, and I start my stopwatch, and I start timing it. I'm like, you guys, it's happening exactly 1 minute intervals. This is not a bird. And so we're looking all around, and David goes, is it this? There's this thing on the wall. I go, no, that's a thermostat. He goes, no, that's a thermostat. It says first alert. And well, I'm like, oh my God, it was a carbon monoxide detector that he didn't even know he had. And for a week, they thought it was a bird in the attic. And I'm like, thank God I came here, because you guys would have let that thing go forever. Like, and it's not one where you can replace the battery. So we had to drown it in the sink to make it stop. Anyway, that's one of the funniest things that's happened lately.
Kathy, that's great.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. And I have heard those are hard to expose.
I read it, I have the Merlin bird app that identifies birds by their, I'm like, a starling, you say? I'm gonna I almost pulled out my bird app, and I'm like, no way, man, this is not a bird. It feels like it's happening every 1 minute, and it was. And it's so funny because they didn't even hear it downstairs,
Yeah.
But
great.
it was right across the hall from my bedroom over there, so
That's
like, I need to make this stop.
What did you say, David? I'm sorry, we missed it.
But I'm sure glad you came by, because
Me too.
I love it. I love the story.
somebody still wait for see the little birds. I don't know.
I think that's great. So a little question then too. I'm gonna, of course, being a radio station, I love radio and promote it. How important do you feel that radio has been in building a loyal fan base, and what do you feel like? How important is radio to your band?
It seems pretty short to me. I mean, that's always been where. What happens when you know that you're connecting is if they're playing it on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know, with all the streaming now, it's hard to tell the difference sometimes. But
it's a lot different. But all these songs that we play that were huge hits on the radio and are part of the classic rock
Yes.
library will never die. Because something about classic rock, I think it's going to live forever. I mean, the music of the 60s and 70s and 80s, probably the best rock music, and it was all done then. Everything after that is just a derivative, or it's completely on a different planet, So I don't think, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, Deep Purple, all these bands we go out and play with, Kansas, Foreigner, Styx, and the bands on our show in French Lick, Atlanta Rhythm Section, Firefall.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this music will never die. Maybe 100 years. I don't know.
I don't think
it's been 50, and it's still going strong.
Well, Kathy, that's because I'm classic rock here, and no, I think you're totally right. I think it's something that everybody still loves. You can't beat the classic rock. I'm 100% with you on that. Now, what's the one song that, like, if you did not play it, that everyone probably would not be happy when they left the show?
We have a bunch of.
Probably a lot of them, right?
Yeah, when in the old version, in the Paul Kantner reboot version, we never played any of the Starship stuff, and people would be very mad that we didn't play Nothing's Gonna Stop Us and We Built This City. So we play those every single show now. It's like those were such huge hits. We have to play them, and now I don't think we leave anything out, even on a short set. We just make sure that we play the biggest hits,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's what people want. I think they want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's exactly right. Yeah, I think and it's great that you listen to the fans and you know that that's what they want. And that's important. When you buy a ticket and you come to the show to watch, and then your favorite band here you're listening to, and then when that song, that favorite song, whichever song it is, because everyone relates to different music, it's always that much more meaningful whenever you're at a performance and you hear that.
Absolutely. And I am a fan, so I know what I would want to hear if I was going to a show. And
I love all those songs. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't appear on those Starship songs, but even when they were coming out, I loved them. I was really happy that they managed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
A good song is a good song, man.
Mm-hmm.
We were lucky enough to have had at least 3 decades of great songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that I got to be part of. Man, that was so wonderful.
That's pretty epic. Yeah.
So right. We're so right. We got some pretty good songs coming up.
Well, and what inspires you? I'm so sorry, David. I apologize. You cut out. What did you say? I'm so sorry.
Oh, we have a song called Jetpack that we're just finished doing the first part of it in the studio, man, and it sounds wonderful. But I think we're just gonna be out probably this summer sometime. Awesome. I'm sure.
And what inspires you to write now? I mean, and what's your how do you do it? Do you just go by yourself and sit and write, or does it take a few weeks or months, or how does the new music come out or come to you? I guess come to you.
Oh, various ways, but it always involves at least 2 of us.
Yeah,
if not all of us.
Yeah, in the case of Jetpack, this was a song Jude had written, and he sent it to me, and I kind of rewrote it and rewrote the lyrics, most of them, except for the hook, which was really good. Take Me a Million Miles Away. So, and then we started jamming that. We cut it in the studio, and then I had an idea for a different ending and with different chords. So we went back in to re-record it, and now it's just gone to a whole other place. It's just so cool. But I mean, this song has been kicking around for a few years, but now just has as of the last week has a whole new life. So it's exciting, and working in the former record plant in Sausalito, where so many great records were made, and Jefferson Starship did a bunch of stuff in there. Jane was mixed there, and Nuclear Furniture was recorded there, and Rumors, Fleetwood Mac Rumors, one of the biggest albums of all time, was recorded there. So it's just the vibes in there were amazing, and the engineer Maddie McDaniel we're working with is amazing, and just so it's exciting in it. And the creative process. Pete Sears, the original bass player, came in, and he hung out the whole day, even after he was done playing, because it's just the process of being in the studio and everybody's doing their parts, and it's exciting, it's life-giving. So that's the inspiration for me. I just want to keep creating and making something new, and that's important, so that we don't just become sort of a hologram or a jukebox. We're a living band that is still creative and still making new music, as well as keeping these insanely wonderful songs alive by going out and playing them live. And it's cool.
Isn't it really cool to think about, Kathy and David, for you guys? I mean, like, what if, like, you know, there's so much more out there. Like, what if you hit that one song, another song that just, like, is just, like, even more, is the best you've ever done. I mean, I love you keep reaching for the stars. I love that.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a fantasy for me because I've never had a hit song on the radio, you know, so, well, I mean, it's, the music business is very different, and, and a lot of things go into getting a song played on the radio, which I don't know that we have at this point, you know. So it's, you know, being on a major label, having a big push behind you, and, you know, the classic rock playlists are pretty locked in. So it's like the odds of breaking in there are slim to none, probably. We're not, like, unrealistic about it, but I still think like something cool could happen. It could get a placement in a TV show, a movie, a commercial, something like that, where it hits a bunch of people at once and they go, who's that? And they Shazam it and they go, Jefferson Starship. What? I never heard this one before, you know, and they find out it's new, you know. So that's kind of like, we're, you know, the music that at least I'm thinking about writing for this band is for the Jefferson Starship fans. It's not going to be anything, you know, reinventing the wheel or trying to do a dance hit or something to try to be current. Where it's still rock. It's still got to speak to those fans. And so we're just, you know, we're going to talk about it. We're going to hype it up. We'll probably make a music video and put it on YouTube. And
no, I think it's all
you know, I'm sure we'll service some radio stations and try to get it played, you know. It would be cool.
That's my religion. Never give up.
I love that. I love that. No, I agree 100%. Keep going. Always keep going. Keep reaching. And you know, and you're staying true to yourself, you know. You're you know, you're keeping it the Jefferson Starship, but also you're trying some new stuff out. I love it. I love the idea. I think it's wonderful. I'm anxious to hear it, and I'm anxious to possibly see it and also play it on the radio.
Amazing. Well, we'll make sure you get a copy.
I love that. I would love that. I would love that, Kathy. When you leave the show, I don't know how long our interview. As I could talk to you guys, I love talking with you guys forever here. But when fans leave your show this coming Saturday night, what do you hope for them to take home with them on the drive home? What do you hope is the vibe, the maybe the conversation? What do you hope?
Wasn't that fun?
No, David, that's what I hope after this interview that you guys say.
Well, it's also a part of let's have some fun.
Yeah, I think you know, for those of us who remember this music from when we were kids or young adults, and even for the kids today who are coming to the shows, you know, music is like a time machine, and for the young kids, it might be stamped on them right now, and they're going to remember going to that concert. And for the people who remember it from the 60s and 70s and 80s, who come, and that takes them back to that time when they were 15 years old or whatever. And so that's what, you know, that's one of the magical things about music, that it can transport you to a different time and place just with sound, you know. And I remember when I first heard this song, Jane reminds me of my parents' station wagon, you know, driving around with the family, and I was 10 when that song came out, you know, like stuff like that. Or this song reminds me of when we went out and made a bonfire and we ran from the cops or whatever, you know, like just that time in your life where you were young and just living it for the first time.
Yeah, I love that. And I think I like David, you was talking about fun. I feel like, you know, when you go to a concert and you got the attention and the time of your fans, and to make it, where they are having such a good time. I feel like everybody being entertained, and I guess that my other question would real quick is, how do you guys entertain yourselves? Because that was one thing my dad said in radio. He said, you're so giving and you're entertaining others. Make sure you're being entertained. And how do you guys entertain yourselves, I guess?
Oh, God.
Everyone in the band is really funny and has a really good sense of humor, so we entertain each other.
I love it.
Yeah, we love that together. I know that's it's kind of strange. I see a lot of bands that don't even talk to each other in the airport or something like that. But I don't know. We always seem to be the same place. We always eat breakfast together. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love that because
we love each other, man. It's the band that I always dreamed about wanting to be in ever since I saw the Beatles movies.
I love it.
Hard Days. I always wanted that. Of course, they weren't really that band either, really. But it turned catch me. So I've been dreaming to actually have that band. Somehow I think I'm in it now. So I don't know. I may be fooling myself, but I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's very special, and I think it's very unique, and I think and I think you're very blessed to have such a special, group. Yeah, definitely. And and I think we all that's why everybody's loves your group and wants to keep, coming in and listening and coming to your concerts. And you guys are going to be in French Lick. Have you been to French Lick before?
Not that I know. I've driven Indiana a bunch of times, so you never can tell. I might have.
Well, if you've not,
well, I'm told it's near Washington, where my great aunt and uncle used to live. So I used to visit there when I was a kid in Washington, Indiana.
Oh, you're gonna love the resort. The resort will take you back in time. You're gonna be in such. I can't wait to talk to you Saturday and find out what you think, Kathy and David, of the resort. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. If you get a chance, you're gonna have to try some of that Pluto water. Okay.
Okay.
It's
I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, it's not really good. It's kind of like
I explained to them about Pluto water over at French Lick, right? And I thought they needed that, right?
Yes.
They're going to be this Saturday, actually, at the French Lick Resort. Check to see if there's any tickets, Jefferson Starship, and I think they are fantastic. They're a lot of fun and a lot of great history there. And Holly, we got to get out of here.
Yes, we do.
Thank you so much, and have fun Hawaii Day at Salem Crossing.
Thank you.
Hawaii, I think I got pineapple and everything, or coconut.
We're doing our banana splits
Get
today.
out of here. Okay. All right. So much fun. Just don't forget the banana.
That's right. That's what I've told. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's thank our sponsors.
We'd like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rose's, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, Springer & Springer Insurance, Schneck Hospital, and Temple & Temple. Thanks to our great sponsors.
Yeah, very thankful for them. Holly, have a best weekend ever and enjoy and go make over all of them there at Salem Crossing. All right. Have a great day. Best day ever.
Tire call, big or small, they service all. They have the name brand tires, to keep you cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving me. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tire does it right. Big or small, we service all. Du Bois County Tire.
Now through March 31st, get up to $180 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Get $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card. Available at Washington.